Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to Skald against the Black Priory, where today, I guess we're getting this party started. Which does feel like a bad idea, but, considering our main alternative is to simply turn around and walk away, and let things play out without us on hand to intervene. I think I'd rather be here than not when this shindig kicks off. That's it. Let's chat up the locals. See what we can do to, quote-unquote, help. Still nothing we can do with the minstrel. We'll cycle through the others, see if any of them brings her up. I mean, obviously, she must serve some purpose. Hello again. Hey, sorry to bother. The Baroness actually sent me to see if you need any help with anything. Camilla's eyes tear up. I'm so ashamed. The Baroness was so kind to think of me for making the backdrops for their surprise. I thought I could do it. I have the canvases and everything. All she asked was that I paint her a wondrous vista. But I can't bring myself to make the first stroke. A surprise, yeah, she mentioned that. Do you have any idea what it might be? Oh, I've said too much. The Baroness made me promise not to tell. Please, you need to ask her if you want to know more. Not that it matters in any case. I'm getting nowhere with this. She motions to the reams of canvas. Camilla blushes. I'm lost. My head, my heart. There's a girl, Cass, and I have feelings for her. It was from a distance, but I felt like there was something there. Me being me, I didn't have the nerve to go talk to her. Instead, I left a note for her, explaining my feelings. And then? Nothing. Nothing at all. Oh, I'm such an oaf. I write like a pig. How could I ever think my stupid note could sway someone like Cass? Tears stream down Camilla's face. She has such a way with words. A bard she is. And me? I'm just stupid and plain. Hey, easy. Look, maybe it's just a misunderstanding. I'll talk to her. You would do that for me? I suppose it would let me know one way or another. But please, try to be subtle about it. Don't let her know I'm beside myself thinking about her. She draws in a deep breath and her mood appears to lift, ever so slightly. Cass is a free spirit and she loves water. I'd look for her along the small creek that runs west of here. Thank you so much for offering to help. Yeah, no problem. That's me. I'm here to help. Well, at least we know who this is now. The woman still appears lost in thought. Excuse me, are you Cass? The woman blinks in surprise. What, you've heard of me then? Wait, is this about that bar tab? As I've already told Bernard, I'll pay him the moment I have the coin on hand. It's just that I've been a bit preoccupied. Cass looks at her feet. No, it's not about that at all. Actually, Camilla sent me. A pained expression falls across her face. Oh, no. Please don't say she's angry with me. No, she's just worried that you didn't like her letter. Didn't like it? I loved it. Finding her note made me happier than words can describe. Okay, well then why haven't you just gone and told her that? Because I can't find the words. Can you believe it? Me, a bard, at a loss for words. I've been trying to put my feelings into verse, a song. I'm nearly there, but over and over the words escape me. I don't understand it. It feels like I'm grasping at tendrils of mist. Okay, well, maybe I can help with that. Let's hear what you've got. The song Cass reads you is sad and beautiful. It brings to mind images of far and wondrous shores. Stranger yet is the fact that, try as you might, you have never been able to recall the first 3 verses she recounted to you. Only the first line of the last verse remains. Song of my soul, my voice is dead. Right, and then? That's exactly it. I can't get past that. Nor can I change it. It has to be that line. But what comes next? It's like I'm deaf to my own inner voice. Cass repeats the line, now with a slight hint of panic in her voice. Song of my soul, my voice is dead. Die thou unsung as tears unshed. The words flow from your mouth and fits the song like a key fits a lock. You spoke more words as well, but like the rest of the song, they too are lost in the void of time. What you do remember, however, is Cass scribbling the words down as tears of joy streamed down her face. That's it. I have it. A song for Camilla. She folds the piece of paper containing the words of the song neatly and writes in beautiful cursive, To Camilla, from Casilda. With trembling hands, she offers you the folded note. Would you do me one last favor? Take this note to Camilla. It will explain everything to her. And please, would you tell her to come find me at the carnival? Tell her we'll dance together then. Yeah, of course. Cass squeezes your hand and offers a warm but slightly sad smile before walking off. You're left with the note for Camilla. Okay. Gosh darn it, they just got too clever for their own good. They gave away the game. All my speculation was for naught. I didn't pick up on it with just the name Camilla. But Casilda is such a unique name. Not to mention, she literally dropped the lyrics right there. It's the King in Yellow. I mean, it doesn't get much more on the nose than that, other than just straight up name-dropping Carcosa or having some dude in a yellow robe wandering around. Yeah, see, I got so fixated on the Baroness being a queen stand-in, it just completely flew my mind that I should have been focused on the absent king, the Baron. In fact, Camilla even said she's working on a backdrop, which I guarantee is for a play. The surprise at the Carnival is going to be a performance of the King in Yellow or something similar. Hey, Camilla, I've really got to talk to you about something. I spoke with Cass about your letter, and I've got good news. Camilla goes pale. What did she say? She doesn't fancy me, right? I just know it. No, she actually said she loved your letter. She asked me to give you this. She accepts the note and slowly unfolds it. As she consumes the song, line by line, her eyes water and her hands tremble. By the end, she has to tear her eyes away from it. Such words. I've never read such words. Was there more? Did she say anything? Yeah, she
Told me she wants to dance with you at the carnival. Camilla covers her mouth, smiling through tears of joy. She then blinks a few times as if remembering something.
The backdrops for the Baroness. I see it so clearly now. Cass's song. Oh, this will be amazing.
Yep.
And now, if you'll excuse me, I have to get to work. I'd rather you not see the result until at the carnival. It'll be more impressive that way.
Camilla smiles a secretive smile and grabs a ream of canvas and a pot of paint before hastily walking off. Oh man, this sucks. Not the story. The story is fine. Actually, they've really kind of impressed me with the slow boil mystery of it all. But, you know, now that we've got a pretty good idea of where it's all headed, the crushing weight of the inevitable has settled in. But who knows, maybe we can actually turn this all around. Maybe things will be just fine. Clara rushes back and forth, red-faced and sweating, but with movements that seem so choreographed and intentional that she appears more like a dancer than a cook. You are truly watching a master at work here. Hey, the Baroness sent me to check in on you.
Is that so? Well, come to think of it, there is actually something you could help me with.
Do tell.
See, the Baroness has asked me to prepare something special for the children of the feast. My famed honey cakes. Only problem is, I'm still waiting on the honey. Perhaps you could be a dear and run over to the beehives and fetch it for me?
I mean, I've got some honey right here in my pack. Would that work?
Oh my, no! It needs to be honey from our own hives. There's nothing quite like it.
Okay, understood. Where would I find these hives?
The beehives lie to the west of the village. Just cross the bridge and continue straight ahead and you'll see them on your left-hand side eventually. I think even a single honeycomb should do it. See if you can't find Pert, the beekeeper. He'll help you.
Yeah, I'll certainly do that. But, you know, I'm not a beekeeper. What if I get stung? Clara chuckles a hearty laugh and slaps her knee.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. Furgall bees don't sting. Off you go now. We wouldn't want the children to not get their honey cakes.
Oh, well, that is a relief. Good to know. I will go fetch yon honey. This is not going to go well for poor Pert, who I no longer believe is the Baron. The Baron is something else entirely. You approach the hive and the slight buzzing noise rises from within. Even with your limited knowledge of bees, however, you get a strong impression that there is something wrong with the hive. Slowly lifting off the top of the hive, you're able to look inside. There are still plenty of bees left, however, they seem slow and lethargic. Furthermore, there is no honey in sight. Ivan, what do you make of this? Ivan looks around more closely and finds several dead bees. Some clearly belong to the hive in question. A handful of others, however, look foreign, larger and with a vibrant yellow color. If he had to guess, he'd say these bees have been fighting bees from another hive. Right. This hive is dead and abandoned. Neither bees nor honeycombs can be found within. Another dying hive. The hive begins to aggressively buzz as you approach. Okay, so Furgall bees... Right, this one's dead too. Furgall bees might, in fact, not sting. But these are not Furgall bees. These are bees that have displaced the local bees. Let's see what Pert has to say. I really don't want to get him killed, though.
Hello, my lord. How can I serve?
Well, you know, Pert, I need to get some honey out of that hive over there.
Yes, my lord. I can assure you Furgall honey is the best in the land. Please, go right ahead. The hives are over there. Let me know if you need any help.
Right, I'll do that. Thanks, Pert. You approach the hive. You carefully lift off the top of the hive and peer inside. Immediately, a swarm of angry bees fly out, and within seconds, you feel the burn of several stings.
They do sting! I hate bees!
Ivan slaps his neck and brushes his face furiously. Might as well go for it. Gingerly, you attempt to reach in. Suddenly, something large shifts in the depths of the hive, and swarms of large soldier bees swarm out to attack. Each sting feels like a red-hot needle, and you can't help but panic. Where can you run to get away from the buzzing horde? You realize the best way of avoiding the little fiends is to dive into the nearby lake. Clever thinking. I mean, I will say I grew up knowing a beekeeper, but I also feel like it was pretty obvious. Oh, you're supposed to use, aside from the classic beekeeper gear, smoker. Smoke makes bees dormant. I'm just not sure how we're supposed to do that here. Lantern, maybe? Nothing in our journal. The hive begins to aggressively buzz as you approach. The honey inside suddenly seems much less attractive. Well, the cook did say that Furgall bees do not sting, yes? Ivan sounds uncharacteristically hesitant. Oh, wow, so we're under the same influence the townsfolk are under. We immediately forgot what just happened. But not entirely, hence Ivan's hesitance. Pert, buddy, I know Furgall bees don't sting. Everybody knows that. But I feel like I should still take some precautions before I reach into that hive.
No reason to worry about that.
Furgall bees don't sting. Now please, just leave me alone. Pert, buddy, we both know that Furgall bees don't sting. But here's the thing, I'm not sure those are Furgall bees. So, if you've got, proper equipment or something, I could maybe check it out and help save your actual bees, perhaps? The man wrings his swollen hands while he thinks.
So, if I give you the smoker, you might be able to help my bees? Well, I suppose I can give you the smoker if you promise not to tell anyone.
Absolutely. I won't tell a soul. The man looks around nervously and hands you a small tin can with a handle and a spout.
This is the bee smoker, see?
You just mix kindling with some wet grass and light a fire. Not too hot, mind you. You only want a bit of smoke. Just open the hive carefully and let the smoke settle inside, and the bees will go all drowsy. But please, don't tell anyone I use the bee smoker.
Virgold bees don't sting.
Pert looks around again.
Oh, I shouldn't be doing this. I have to go. Good luck.
He sets off at a run, and before you know it, he's gone. Hey, he actually survived. That's a Pert plus. I will say, too, even kind of knowing where this is all going, this is still pretty intense. Alright, let's get this done. Smartly using the bee smoker, you fill the hive with calming fumes. Before you know it, the buzzing has subsided, and you feel confident enough to reach for the honeycombs. Bursting out from the pile of smoke-stricken bees comes a single gargantuan individual. A large, swollen body, clad in vibrant yellow chitin, iridescent wings, and a face that looks unlike any insect you've ever seen before. This must be a queen. The creature lets out a tiny, albeit terrifying screech, and snaps at your fingers with its jaws. Yeah, we should probably go ahead and kill that. Baroness might not be happy, but we did promise Pert. Swiftly, you grasp the creature. It easily fills up your entire hand and squirms as you tighten your grip around its thorax. Snapping jaws first hiss, and then emit a kind of pained wail as the chitin begins to give way. Crushing the creature takes a surprising amount of strength, until the exoskeleton collapses with a wet squelch. Gore splatters your face. You know, you could have just used your axe, but fair enough. Reaching deep into the hive, you pull out a gorgeous honeycomb, dripping with rich golden yellow honey. As the smoke effect on the bees begins to wear off, you find it best to make off with your prize. Yep, let us do that. Hopefully that should give the rest of the bees a chance to recover, but you know, that's really probably the least of the local concerns. Hey, Clara, about that, task you sent me on. Well, I got this thing in yellow. Marvelous. Look at these honeycombs. Have you ever seen honey this golden? The children will love this. Oh, the Baroness is going to be so pleased. Yeah. Now, the cakes are for the children, but I'll tell you what. I baked one too many apple pies for the feast. It's yours if you want it. Clara winks at you and hands you a fresh apple pie. Now, off you go. Okay. I'm sure that's fine. This is all fine. Well, come back. Hey, Ari, right? The Baroness sent me to see if you needed help. Did she now? Aye, she's ordered the beverages for the carnival from me. He leans in and lowers his voice. By the barrel load. Let me tell you, it'll be a night to remember. Good for business as well. She's paid me out the nose. So, do you need help with any of that, or? I don't really have a good excuse. Barrels are lined up and almost ready to go, but there's just been so much to do around the farm, and I sort of forgot. A hint of despair flashes across his jovial face. Do you ever wonder what's the use? Like it's all dust on black winds in the end? Oh, buddy, you have no idea. That is all the time. But you know what they say. Furgull bees don't sting. So hey, is there something I can help you with? Yeah, I suppose there is, actually. The cloud of despair seems to lift, and at once the man's light-hearted demeanor returns. Tell you what, moles have been tearing up my orchard real bad. They gnaw at the roots and wreak havoc on the trees. They've stood for hundreds of years, you know, and losing even a single one is a disaster. So you want me to go whack some moles? Well, you offered to help, didn't you? If you could deal with the mole problem, I could devote my full attention to getting the cider delivered at the Baron's Villa. My orchard is just north of here. I've counted at least 3 burrows, but they can be hard to spot, so make sure you search properly. When you find them, dig those little bastards out and return to me once you're done. Sure, I'll get it done. Ari hands you a shovel and slaps you on the back. You can't help but feel that a bit of spring has returned to his step. Oh, wait, did my superhuman perception spot something from off the screen? By quite a fair margin, too. You come across a freshly dug hole in the ground. You dig the shovel into the soft soil and easily collapse the burrow. After a few strokes, however, the shovel head comes up, coated in dark blood. You root through the soil and, to your disgust, find numerous small, hairless blobs of flesh that have been hacked to death by the shovel's action. You can't properly identify the strange things, nor do you really want to, and quickly cover up the gruesome scene with dirt before moving along. That's fine. Round 2? More carefully this time, you set to work collapsing the second tunnel. The work progresses nicely until suddenly the earth shifts slightly, as if something is moving underneath. Whatever it is, it grabs onto the shovel blade and tugs violently at it. You yank back with all your might and manage to free the shovel from whatever lurks under the dirt. Swinging wildly, you pummel the ground and walk away, hoping you've seen the last of whatever lurks underneath this orchard. Yeah, we'll call that mole whacked. Round 3. Arriving at the third hole, you feel an unease growing in your stomach. Carefully, you bend down and try to peer into the small, dark burrow. To your horror, something glances back. A pair of eyes that appear far too intelligent than an animal has any right to be. Then, in an instant, they are gone, retreated underground. Perhaps your mind is playing tricks on you? You decide to not wait to find out, and with a slight hint of panic, you utterly demolish the hole. Your task is done, and you should return to Ari. Yup. Hey, Ari. Yes? Job's done. Moles are dealt with. Ha! By strange moons, you did it. I can't tell you how good it is to see my trees all nice and secure. I've not much to give you, but I think I can spare some coins and a few bottles of cider that fell off the wagon. Ari winks at you and throws you a small sack of coins. Barrels of cider are loaded on carts, and you watch as the brewer and his helpers set off for the Baron's villa. No doubt, the drink will flow soon enough. Yeah, I'd say it's just about time to go pour one out. Alright, let's, Oh, hey. This is new. I mean, nothing much to speak of, but we'll take it. Alright, well, let's get this train wreck a-rolling. Griselda? Other guy?
All your work is done, and now you've come to feast. My husband is ever so grateful for all you have done for him, and I dare say this will be a night to remember. My dear, Carnival is about to begin. Behold!
Coming up the road is a procession of villagers, clad in their finest and with beautiful wreaths of flowers on their head. The simple folk of Fergal gasp in awe as they pass under the flowered arch of the manor's gate.
Tastes like no other, sights like no other, flesh like no other. What wonder we shall sow tonight!
The Baroness has moved much closer, and you feel her breath on your ear. Then, raising her voice again, she exclaims in an official tone,
I declare that Carnival has begun. Eat, drink, and revel. I shall retire momentarily and make my final preparations, as a lady must.
Okay, well, right off the bat, I'm noticing the minstrels there are wearing reaver skulls. The Baroness and her handmaidens retire into the manor. You are left, head spinning, as the scents of fine food and the sounds of merriment begin to fill the air. The pain and toil of the last weeks begins to fade. All that is left is Carnival. Also, level up. Ooh. No one can make it through this world alone, and lately you find yourself thinking of those who have helped you on your journey. Perhaps one day, when this is all over, you can find a way to repay them. Yeah, I'm sure that's how it'll play out. Anyway, I'm going to take Shield Slam. And I suppose Roland will take Thrust and Parry, perhaps? Sure, why not? Alright, well, let's eat and make merry. The song and laughter echoing throughout the courtyard is a testament to the quality of Ari's cider. You eagerly grab a mug and drink it alone. The rich flavor of the cider leaves you red-cheeked and light-headed. You cannot help but laugh, loud and uninhibited. You laugh because there is no evil in the world. Or perhaps because there is so much of it, and yet here you stand. The table overflows with treats from Clara's kitchen. Your mouth waters as you stand momentarily paralyzed by the abundance of choice. The urge to partake is almost primal. Then you see it, A sublime piece of stuffed pastry, lying there alone, a vibrant, platonic ideal, almost beckoning you. Gingerly you pick it up. It's feather light. Biting into the pastry, its perfect crust yields up the soft crumb flesh with a satisfying crunch. The jam-filled interior bursts in your mouth. Apples, sugar, cinnamon, a touch of lemon. Ecstasy. This is the best stuffed pastry you've ever had. Neat. The music filling the air is raw and primal. Its beat is the pulse of something vast waiting to be born. The piper at the gates of dawn. It drives you, carries you. A howl builds inside. You give in to it and dance like no one's watching. You sway and leap and whirl to the mesmerizing beat. For a moment you are one with something, with everything or nothing. There really isn't a difference. Stars wheel overhead, and by the time the trance ends, it takes a moment for you to remember where or even when you are. Resplendently attired and with her handmaidens in tow, the Baroness emerges from the manor. The music dies down. Beloved guests, the second act is upon us. My beloved husband asks that you take your places in front of the stage. The time has come for the evening surprise. And for all our rosy-cheeked little crumplins, there is a special surprise. My lovely ladies and I have prepared a scavenger hunt. There will be whimsy and prizes and sweets. The children clap their pudgy hands as they squeal with joy. Oh, I hate this. No. Is there one among you with the courage to brave the manor and find the treasure within? Come one, come all! The children stream past the Baroness into the manor, while the adults begin to file towards the rows of benches placed in front of the stage. It is time for you to take your place. I mean, is that to spare the children or to condemn them to something worse? Damn it. Okay, well, it was worth a try. How about the front gate? Can we just... Nope. I guess we'll just let this play out. The simple folk of Fergal find their places in silence. A sense of reverence appears to have fallen over them. You scan the rows for an empty seat. Cat sits wide-eyed in amazement as she takes in every sight and sound. Rosy cheeks tell you she's enjoying her night, and she beams up at you as you take the seat next to her. Would you believe this is my first time? At the theater, I mean. I can't wait for it to begin. You look around. For the first time, you notice the backdrops. Camilla's hauntingly vibrant scene looks at once familiar, yet subtly alien. For a moment, the cloud waves seem to break upon the shore as twin suns set. Carcosa. Cat gasps next to you, no doubt in awe of the artwork's vivid nature. A man dressed in the colorful garb of a traveling theater performer walks onto the stage, and the crowd falls utterly silent. Greetings! His voice is high-pitched and overly dramatic, yet oddly captivating.
On foreign shores we set our play, where setting suns cast shadows long, o'er streets no longer touched by day, and halls forgotten, but in song. Strange is the night where black stars rise with flapping of the tattered wings, and strange moons circle through the skies, chased by black and faceless things. An edifice where kings once sat, where maidens pale did once cavort, the charnel house that time begat, a stranger has arrived at court. The strange little man bows deeply and walks off stage. For a long moment, all is quiet, yet the crowd sits frozen with anticipation. Then, a sharp gasp from one of the onlookers. You crane your neck trying to get a better view, but there is nothing there. Or... no, you see it. A robed and gloved hand dramatically extends onto the stage from between two of the backdrop panels. Slowly he emerges, a tall figure gliding more than walking with elegant, almost dance-like motions. "The Baron, it must be," whispers one of the audience. "Look," whispers another, "he wears a mask." The figure glides onto the center of the stage. Like some strange pantomime, he begins to wordlessly orate with dramatic, exaggerated gestures. Or was it wordless? Weren't there words hidden in the silence? Terrible words, hints of secrets no mortal mind was meant to hold. The unspoken words seep into your mind like a poison. You wince. "Please," someone pleads. "The time has come for you to unmask." The words sound strange, like an echo older than time, doomed to repeat for all eternity. Slowly, the Baron turns his masked face towards the speaker. The words that follow are the only ones you could later recall. "I wear no mask." Inhuman howls of terror mix with the gibbering laughter of the insane. Teeth shatter in clenched jaws and eyes are torn from sockets. Hair pulled out in great clumps, and loved ones claw each other to death. He exists now only as the afterimage of an eclipse. And then he is gone, nowhere and everywhere. Like a tide of gnawing, eyeless things, madness overwhelms you. You sink to your knees, clawing at your skull in a vain attempt to dislodge the terrible words that have taken place there. Then, like a ray of light, something cuts through the morass. A hand on your shoulder. You turn and see Cat. You get up. The only way out is through. Oh man, look at this mess. Well, so much for saving anyone. Guess that really went about as well as we could have hoped. Interesting, though, the hints again. Oh wow, we just tanked that. How are we doing on health? Hold on, let me just get an idea of how strong these guys actually are. Oh wow, dodgy. Which does make sense, given that they're acrobatic performers, I assume. Though, thankfully, fairly fragile. Looks to be about 50-ish health. Also vulnerable to panic. But yeah, you know, I mean, man, I am conflicted.
there's a part of me that wishes we had more agency in this situation. But at the same time, it does play back into the whole time loop thing, the whole inevitable, cyclical, existential horror element of the game. Casilda's sad smile as she walked away. Ari's brief bout of nihilism. And then, of course, the rising sense of dreadful realization during the play itself that this was always going to happen. Essentially, the inescapable end of Fergal, playing out in an infinite loop. The townsfolk only dimly aware of their perpetually pluralized fate. Further complicated, I imagine, by whatever the Baroness was doing to cloud their minds, since, yeah, she seemed to be the one that was kind of actively tamping down their memories, though, as we saw back on Idra, even back there, the people in the loop were only dimly aware of what was really happening. But, you know, there was clearly some sort of mitigating factor here as well. Fergal bees don't sting. Guess we're not saving anyone out here. Alright, into the barren place. We might eke out a minor victory yet. Oh, what is this? Alright, who do I kill first? The scene before you is one of utter insanity. The Baroness presides over it with a look of exhausted contentment on her face. I'm so glad to see you here. The great work is nearly done, and I couldn't have done it without you. It's only fitting you should be here at the finale. She produces a long dagger from her sleeve. Drop it, or die where you stand. Beyond hope and reason, you see that the children are still alive, albeit paralyzed in some kind of trance. The Baroness begins laughing, but the sound morphs into a wailing cry of sorrow and anger. No! They are mine now! Why shouldn't I have one as well? Every cow in the village can squeeze one out, so why can't I? She screams and lunges for the nearest child. Okay, so we have her motivation. Not entirely surprising, I suppose. We knew her fascination with children was going to lead to something. And, I mean, as far as motivations go, yeah, this one's kind of a classic. Handmaids look to be rogues. Let's be wary. Shouldn't be too much of a fight, though. Yeah, we're good. We just have to avoid being flanked. Oh, you know what? Baroness is almost certainly a caster. Let's quiet things down for a spell. Oh, snap. He's a, Hierophant? Oh, shoot. And, Griselda can still cast, even muted. That's annoying. Thankfully, it's just magic missiles, so that's not as bad as it could have been. Hang tight for a sec. I want to push Roland up one space before we take another stab with Cat. There we go. Yeah, mute just doesn't work on her. Interesting. Though it does seem to work on her assistant. Speaking of whom. Domo-domed. A grisly end. Curious to see if the Baron is still alive or not. A victory of sorts. Though not much in the way of loot. Okay, well, you know, just hang tight, kids. I'll circle back. Yeah, whole place is falling apart, I have to assume. Yeah, that looks about right. Sitting in silent majesty upon the throne is the desiccated corpse of what must have been the Baron of Fergal. Tattered yellow robes hang loosely from the body, and around the head, a thin crown of ivy has grown. A king out of time. Though similar, this figure cannot be the one who performed that horrid play. And even as you stand there, the memory of it has begun to fade. Like a dream upon waking, you are left wondering if it even happened at all. No matter, there is nothing more here for you now. Only bones and dust. You turn to leave. For a moment, you imagine you hear the flapping of tattered robes, but then it passes. It must have been the wind. Well, the memory might fade, but we've still got a big pile of corpses out front, so, you know. And they're still alive, thank goodness for that.
Well... Well, I mean... Yeah. I think we're just going to call it here. I mean, I've got to say, don't get me wrong, this event was pretty intense. I think it was well presented. I wish we'd had a bit more agency, but at the same time, I understand why we didn't. It's just, I suppose, hoping in vain on my part that we can still somehow succeed in the face of overwhelming existential, eldritch dread. But if there was any event that was going to spell out our inevitable end, I think this would be it. But, you know, life is a stage. We'll play our part. We'll fight the good fight. We'll take it to the bitter end. But, you know, not right now, obviously. I need to go decompress. We'll hit the pause button for now. I'll figure out what we're doing with these level ups, and we will pick up here next time. The Tower of Ash awaits. See you then. Oh, and special thanks to the Raiders, the fine folks who help make these videos possible, including but not limited to Eerie V23, Revenant, Alois, Dragon Matrix 7, Drakiith, EgonAlter, Exsellsior, Gottlieb, James Trimmier, Kazorm, Lady Shayna, Mark Giemza, Nathan Welch Jr., OverlordPherom, RandomPassrby, RobbyB, Tomasz Piątkowski, Triphoppenskip, and Valinrook. Thanks for your support, guys. That said, if you'd also like to help support the channel, then feel free to push the buttons that do the things. Trust me, it does make a difference. Or you could even check out the PayPal, the Patreon, the Nexus GG, or the YouTube memberships. Links are in the description.